those of you who just raised your hand, you have no idea what is in store for you. This is going to be one of the weirdest, most exciting, sleepless, dynamic, strange, amazing weeks you are ever going to have.
Clap sync. Hi. So I'm the historian for Penn State Digital Media Group. And this year, they let me go to SIGGRAPH. For the past 26 years, Digital Media Group at Penn State, with help from funding from the School of Visual Arts and the College of Arts and Architecture, has sent a small group of students to SIGGRAPH, an international nonprofit conference focused on demonstrating, innovating, and discussing new advances and applications in computer graphics and interactive technologies. The convention is a massive collection of events, from exhibitions to live demos, workshops, talks, meet and greets, film presentations, and portfolio critiques. It is a huge deal for people in digital media, and chances are, if you know a big name, they're probably there. I saw Tan Rosendahl. I saw Jensen Huang. I didn't get to see Andrew Price, but I don't even care. I don't care. Was he avoiding me? Probably. Now, a full pass to SIGGRAPH might cost but luckily for students, you can attend as a student volunteer. You work for the convention, get a full pass. Think about it like working on a cruise ship or indentured servitude. Oh, I am kidding. Partially. It's actually a really cool program and a huge privilege. And as DMG's historian, it's also a pretty good opportunity to document what it's like to go. So pack your metaphorical non-existent badge. Badge? We're going to Vancouver! Hold on, wait. I'm gonna zoom out and you're gonna be there. The day the conference technically started was more for student volunteers and exhibitors to get themselves situated. Hey Tio, say hi. Say hi. Tio, come on, Tio. We got there around 11, stood in line for a bit, got our student volunteer shirts, and hung around the center for the next couple hours. This goose tried to steal my McDonald's, by the way. And then at 3 o'clock, we got this 2-hour intro presentation about what our jobs would be like for the rest of the week. Isaac, are you good? But most of it was, here's what you're doing, here's who you'll be doing it with, and here's how you do it. But we also got some information about student volunteer specific events and mixers that would be happening later in the week. Mixer?
I hardly know her.
Damn it, Michael, pay attention, man.
We also got SIGGRAPH's yearly group picture that we're in there somewhere. Where can you find us? August 10th was the first real day of the convention. I was here, in the ready room, which granted, is the easiest job you can have as a student volunteer. You're on standby, in case anyone doesn't show up for their shift or extra help is needed elsewhere. But if you have the energy for it while you're there, absolutely use your time to get to know the people around you. There's even a table specifically for people to put their business cards out on. If you're open and you're passionate, I guarantee you'll find at least one person who you're happy to be talking to. Anyways.
This is the first time I've done this session. How many people's first SIGGRAPH? Wow, okay. Welcome.
I ended up here, actually. Kickstart your career with resume and reel reviews and more. Which is kind of a mouthful of a title, guys, don't you think? This was hosted by the ECDC, the Early Career Development Committee, particularly Craig Sligel, Corin Price, and Josh Naiman, who, if you don't know, provide free year-round support for students and emerging professionals in digital media fields.
You're welcome to film, videos, and pictures. There's nothing secret here. This is all good stuff for you. You can share it, use it, hopefully.
I was here for about 40 minutes, and I'm just going to leave every point up here, and you can go through them on your own time if you'd like. While I'd love to talk through every point myself, our president said that if I made this video longer than 15 minutes, they'll put me back in the corner. Day 2, I had a totally new shift. Here, at the help desk / check-in area. When you're working a job like this, not only do you get to help out attendees, but there are some you'll probably just end up talking to. People I actually saw later on the convention floors, too. After the shift, I dropped by the Student Volunteer Lounge, where, to my surprise, there was actually a meet and greet with a bunch of Epic Games employees, who were all really cool. I actually got to talk to this guy who works as a rigging artist for Fortnite. Something about meeting someone in a senior position and hearing how they started in the animation industry and ended up in the video games industry was so cool. You get to talk about how software is changing their work in the next few years, months even. And then they ask you about your interests, and you're like, You have a job. And then 5 minutes later, you're talking about the creative differences between the network and the creator of Final Space. No one talks about Final Space. And then you're talking about the comic that's coming out soon because it's like, oh boy, I hope that's really good because the show didn't get a good chance the first time. Listen, that's what SIGGRAPH's about, man. No one should be going to SIGGRAPH with the expectations that they leave with a job. And yeah, you're making industry connections, but you're making actual connections. And I might never get to talk to this person again, but just getting to know that person, getting to know that people like that are out there firsthand, that's the heart and soul. After that, I was let loose. So I spent most of my time at the exhibition hall. Psychedelics, Flight Simulator. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this one is. Balloon Whale, Roblox, Baby Simulator, Motion Tracking, Blender, I'll even know, Rat Party, This Dog, what? Faces, Palace Immersive. I also saw the line for Rendermans and promptly realized I would not be getting one. These things make people go Gollum mode. Pixar makes them in association with Renderman. They're rendering or animation software. I don't know. No one knows. No one cares. These things are like the crown jewel of SIGGRAPH merch. There are small drops every day, of which there is a Twitter account dedicated to. The lines to get these on the exhibition hall, like, go out of the door. They're just like little walking teapot guys. Everyone wants one. And so do I. And I didn't get anyways, after everyone from DMG had left the conference, we ended up going to the SIGGRAPH Mixer. Which, by the way, okay, listen. You have not lived until you have seen 300 sweaty nerds dancing to house music for 3 hours. The fourth day I wasn't really up to much. Wednesday I woke up late and I had 2 shifts. One, I was answering questions on the poster floor, and another, I was counting t-shirts for an hour, which was weirdly fun. Both of them were actually really fun. So unfortunately, I didn't have much time to go to the panels that I really wanted to. Which is why I asked some friends to.
You. Hey, I'm Arden. Hi, I'm Arden. I'm the DMG president. Woo! And I got to see the Superman special effects panel at SIGGRAPH 2025 in Vancouver. Woo! Okay, I was lucky enough to witness the Superman special effects panel hosted by Weta FX, the company who produced it, if you hadn't already guessed. Weta FX took us through the process of how they created their prison environment, essentially using bismuth cubes as a reference. They created a Houdini script which used mathematical calculations to kind of calculate the, I guess, variety, density of these cubes, creating this sort of blocky, square environment. The process of creating the kaiju was discussed as well, essentially explaining how it was created and fitted into the environment, and the artistic vision for it and how it inspired the sculpting direction for the character. Most interestingly, I was heavily drawn in by their explanation of coupled simulations. I believe the name is, I forgot a little bit. Essentially, it's kind of when an object has a force react on it, it will kind of exhibit a similar reaction, a reactive force back onto the, I guess, external thing. For example, a wind simulation for Superman's cape originally caused the cape to billow up in a bunch, and despite the fact that that is more accurate to how physics would work in real life, they decided to add a coupled simulation to the cape. Instead of billowing up in a tiny little bunch behind Superman, the cape actually stayed strong and open. This gave Superman a strong and confident vibe. Strong and confident vibe.
Hello, my name is Isaac Ernest. I am a junior here at Penn State, and I am the treasurer at DMG. And I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the Minecraft Weta FX production session at SIGGRAPH. And it was cool because they gave us the production session the day before that they gave it in front of an entire ballroom full of people. So the student volunteers got to see everything first. So they spent most of the time talking about the main villain of the movie, Malgosha, who is like, if you haven't seen the movie or are too familiar with Minecraft, it's like she's not in the game. They spoke about how they created the texture of the skin. So what they did is they brought in actual pig skin from like a butcher, analyze the texture, analyze where the hairs are, and then to reproduce that digitally and to create the most realistic effect they possibly can. And it was interesting when they showed the different changes that they made in her character, even sort of late in the process. Originally, they had her tusks sticking from her bottom jaw up, but then as they started to animate her mouth and her talking motion, it kind of interfered and like become all like jumbled and like it was kind of messy looking. So what they did is they changed the tusks from being connected to the bottom jaw to the top jaw. I just thought it was a really unique kind of fix to that situation that they were having. I thought that was interesting. So after the production session, they opened it up to questions. So we asked them as many questions as we liked, personal questions as well. Yeah, they talked about the Sonic movie and that character, like how the audience originally perceived the Sonic character, and they were kind of worried about having that same effect on the Minecraft characters and the Minecraft, how that came across in the initial reactions. But it was interesting because they stuck with the characters. They knew what they were going for, and they just continued production, and in the end it actually turned out to be a pretty big success. But I thought it was successful. Like it was interesting. Financially, there was like an allotted time for this session, but they stayed well past that time just to answer the student volunteers' questions. They're really there to benefit the students. You can really see these people as people and something that you can actually be. You can be in their role one day, and that's a really valuable takeaway from SIGGRAPH for me.
It was also Wednesday night that we got to see the electronic theater presentation. SIGGRAPH does this every year. They show off a collection of animated short films and the like. I think what's really cool is just the amount of variety on display. Advertisements, game cinematics, an episode from Secret Level, student films, passion projects. I actually couldn't find B-roll of these because a lot of them haven't premiered anywhere else yet. Definitely at least one of my highlights of the entire conference. We found a bunch of DVDs of past year presentations, so if you're interested in any of those, definitely let us know. The last day of the conference was pretty relaxed. Student volunteers even had a little bit of a raffle. Turns out the better you did during your shifts for the week, the more chances you had to win stuff. You could win t-shirts or a mouse pad or...
The new teapot is an alien teapot. It has a little antenna.
I still didn't get one. But it didn't matter, because the real winners were the friends that we made along the way. The real sadness came with how quick the convention dried up. By about 4 p.m., it was practically empty. The walk back to the apartment, though, was far from quiet. Everyone knew that we had, like, at least 12 hours left together. Not only did I get the chance to meet a ton of amazing people, but I also got way closer with the friends I have here. And collectively,
on behalf of Digital Media Group, we would like to personally thank Dr. Darren Thornton, Eduardo Navas, Michael Collins, and Rebecca Glover, and any other individuals responsible for allowing us to have this great opportunity. Thank you.
If you are a Penn State student who would like to attend SIGGRAPH, come to DMG. Student volunteer applications for SIGGRAPH tend to close around February of the year they are happening. If you have any questions, feel free to reach us here or through any of this if you can, or just come to DMG. We're all there. You can talk to us. We're fine. We don't bite.